Welcome, 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 welcome. You are now in Ray's Juke Joint. This is the Pickoff Show. This is the Pickoff Show with Ray the Barber and with our it's not up there no more, but our scumbag classic champion, 2 years running, Eric, suited fours. How you feeling?
Good, buddy. Good. It's Monday. Let's talk some more baseball.
It's time for some baseball talk. There's a lot of stuff happening. The Fair Catch crew they went early today. They had a lot to talk about on the other side with everything that's going on over there. And so I know they had a great show. I don't know if people understand how much I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah. No,
like people on Twitter was like, hey, where you at? I'm not doing it. I'm not.
Well, I knew it. I think on Thursday, Thanksgiving, you and I would talk a little bit about baseball during the Bears game. I'm like, man, you just don't want to talk about it. Like, nope, we were talking about baseball players during the Bears game on Thursday during Thanksgiving. You and I were. So.
Yep. I just want to talk baseball. I'm
excited for this show here. It's our first ever kind of rankings of players. It's we're getting ready for the big DC championship in the FBC. So these is what we've done.
Yeah, man. The real thing is that it was fun to compile my list and for you to compile your list, and we disagree on people. And that's going to be fun towards the middle of the show.
Yep.
And I think that is going to also. Let me see. I'm trying to go here. I'm trying to send out the tweets and everything like that as we go.
I think it's important we go over some of the guidelines, maybe in the rules. So we took. There's arguably going to be one of the better possible options in some leagues that didn't qualify for our rules.
Yeah.
Off of the NBC, the national rules, they had to play 20 games at third base last year to get in.
Yes.
So Vlad Jr. did not qualify.
No, he did not.
Third base because I think he only played 12 games. So I think it's important that people understand those were the rules we're using. Now, if you're in a home and if you're in a different league and that minimum was 10 and Vlad Jr., obviously, he's in the top 2 or 3 at this position. But for what we used, he does not qualify for this deal.
Yeah. So just know that this is a way too early listing, right? And as we get closer to draft season, we will revisit this and then start talking ADP. Okay. And if you don't know, if you're new to fantasy baseball, ADP is average draft position. Okay.
Yeah. A lot of things can change. A lot of things can change with these rankings, right? It's no different than what if Soto's in the lineup with Devers? Where's Bregman going to sign? There's a lot of stuff pending here. But you know what? The drafts are going. First, the national drafts are going every night. Stuff's going. So we got to get started at some point. So we're starting today.
Yeah, so basically today's show, this is our fantasy baseball third baseman ranking, and we're going to be doing this every week, right? And we're going across the diamond, okay? We're starting at third. We're going to skip over shortstop because that one is the fun one, right?
Yeah.
We're going to move to the keystone. We're going to go to first base. We're going to go to catcher. Then we'll go to shortstop, and then we'll hit the outfielders. And I don't know. So I think we're going to do a top. What did we agree on? Top 26 outfielders?
I think we were going to do 36. 30? I thought we were going to do kind of.
So top 30?
Yeah.
Okay, so so you're right. So we're going to do a top 30 outfielders.
Kind of basing it off a 12-man league, 3 outfielders for every deal, top 36 type scenario.
Mm-hmm. So that's how we're gonna cover that. And then we'll do starting pitchers last. And then by the time we do starting pitching, we should start getting to close to draft season for us in the national draft.
I agree.
So that's kind of where we are. So I had no problem with our consensus 11 through 15. So we're doing top 15. Okay, we're doing top 15 third baseman today. And I had no problem with our 11 through 15 rankings, so 15 through 11, right? I did have uh, a guy that's my sleeper, and we're gonna do our sleepers last. Okay,
Yeah.
sleepers last. But this guy, toward the end of the year, my eyes said boom. And whose team is he on? Right?
Yeah.
We'll get to that when we get there. But let's just get it started. E. Let's get it started. Okay. So what we're doing, we're gonna break down each player. We're gonna use Savant and we're gonna use Fangraphs. Okay. So Fangraphs also has projected 2025 stats.
Steamer projections are out. Yep.
Just
Yep.
right, Steamer projections, and we're gonna just look at that and then say this is why this guy lands here for us. Okay. So
Yep.
if uh, if you have anything you want to comment, please comment and let's talk about it. And we'll try to answer as many questions as we can. Just know that Eric and I are we've worked our asses off this week to get our list together. So don't beat us up too bad. But I think our list is going to satisfy a lot of people, and it might help you in your league if it's your home league. If it's now, the other caveat. Let me get the other caveat out. This is 1 year only draft. This is not dynasty.
Not dynasty.
This
1 year this year. If you're playing for the 1 year,
yeah,
only tournament.
Yeah, this is not dynasty. And I had a ranking kind of messed up because I was thinking dynasty.
Yeah.
And it's fine. It didn't really change too much because the players are still valuable at third base. So
I would say in general,
yeah,
this is one of the weaker positions. Very top heavy.
What? And that's what I was going to get there when we got to the top five because not even top five, like maybe the top eight. It's like this position. I thought it was a stronger position in fantasy. It's not.
It's not.
It's not at all.
This is why if you can't get probably 1 through 4, 1 through 3. There's only one first rounder probably, and if you can't get 1 through 3, you can wait. I wouldn't be surprised if people can argue 6 and 15 should be flip flop. Like there's a lot of younger guys, a lot of interesting guys. Like there's some neat stuff here. But overall, this is when you're talking about drafting position. For me, talk about strategy of the position. I'm either trying to get a top of the guy here, or I'm probably trying to get 2 middle of the pack and hope one of them has a big year. This probably would be my strategy.
Yeah, and we're not gonna give you. Well, we're gonna let you peek behind the curtain a little bit on how I think and how Eric thinks, and we don't think the same. A lot of people think that we do, but we don't. I value things that you don't value, and you value things that I'd be like.
I don't think anybody has any idea how much we actually argue about players. I don't think.
Right.
I think they all think that we're like robots or something. I'm like, we argue all the time.
No, that is not the case. That's not what happens. But we do come to consensuses on certain things. And one guy we did not have an issue with being number 15. I had no issue. Go. All right, so let's get it. So let's go. We got Joey Ortiz, okay, for the Milwaukee Brewers. He landed number 15 on our list. I'm not exactly sure where he is, but Joey Ortiz is the number 15 fantasy ranked third baseman for the
Brewers.
But for us in the juke joint on the pickoff show, right? And here's why. And I think Eric, you really like Joey Ortiz. I like him, but not as much as you do. But
correct.
Let's kind of break down some of the things that we look at while we're doing these rankings. Okay, so here's his savant. Okay, Joey Ortiz is he's a young guy, right? He's only 26. Okay.
Yep, he was basically the number one piece in the Corbin Burns trade from Baltimore.
Right, and he also had a pretty decent season. He had 440 plate appearances. 511 plate appearances, 440 ABs. Right, he scored 58 runs. He had 105 hits, 11 home runs, 11 stolen bases. Now, this is why Eric and I disagree because he pounds the table for certain things, okay? And for splits, he pounds the table for splits, right?
Yep.
And so now we're looking at 293, 329, 398, 727, right? But why do you like Joey Ortiz at 15? Because I think I know, but you never said it.
Yeah, I mean, a couple reasons here. I mean, you're looking at first-year player, barely over 500 at bats, obviously very green. But if you look at some of the disciplines here, then you already know what I'm going to say.
Yes.
75% chase. Mm-hmm. Don't chase. He's in the top 25% in the league. Mm-hmm. He don't whiff. He has good bat to ball. Mm-hmm. Doesn't really K, and he's in the 83% talk with walk as a rookie. I mean, you're talking like these are things that as he sees more to major league pitching, you actually, when you normally project, you project these things to get better, and they're already in a very good spot. Another reason when you're talking here playing, somebody in the 15th spot, what's playing time going to look like? Well, he's a defensive whiz. I mean, he's 96 in range. So I mean, he's playing every day just because he's got the glove to play. Now, obviously, you would love to see more out of the slug, more out of XBLA, more out of squaring up and all this kind of stuff. But the bat speed's there. You can miss the barrel, but from a rookie profile, this is a very promising profile.
And here's the thing that I look at, and you taught me this, right?
Yeah.
I knew about it, but this is what I look at, right? So last year, his fastball run value was a -2.
Yeah.
Right? His sinker run value was a -4.
Yep.
But this is the thing that young players with young players, if he's hitting the slider plus, curveball plus, changeup plus, sweeper plus, that's an arc that I actually, that's where I say, okay, this is why I agree with Joey Ortiz, because of this.
Yep.
Not of anything else. It's this. Like, you're going to catch up to a fastball. You're going to catch up to a sinker. But these are the ones that rookies generally struggle with that he didn't.
No, correct. And, the other things you're looking at, I don't scroll back up a little bit, but.
Okay, I'll go up.
You're looking at 85 sprint speed as well.
Oh, yeah. Let me go
So
up
the guy can run.
And he can run. Yep.
And they got him projected as a 10-10 guy. I mean, he was a 10-10 guy. When we get to the projections, you'll see they got a little bit more gracious there. But something else that's very interesting as far as Joey Ortiz is concerned is Willy Adames won't be back with the Brewers. And I think you might be able to pick up another spot of eligibility here. He already played some games at short last year.
Really?
And I could see him logging enough at short this year with Willy Adames gone. You might be able to get 2 positions out of him.
Wow.
So I'm looking at, I'm thinking the batting average goes up. Look at the 90% point differential and average and on-base percentage.
Right.
Like, what if he goes up 20 points? What if he's hitting 259 and he's on base at 349?
Yes.
Like, what if his slugging goes up 400? You're looking at a 750 OPS with 15-15, 20-20 power that we got number 15 in a weak position. That possibly might give you 2 different positions of eligibility. So I'm very comfortable having him here at 15.
There's a certain somebody in the comments saying he can't wait till we get to the top 5 to see how many he has.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, what was he on for the Vlad comment? Because he might be counting Vlad, and Vlad don't make the cut, unfortunately.
Yeah, Vlad don't make the cut, but he's on. And
yeah.
He's probably on and off. I just spoke to him, and he's doing something I never want to do ever in life. So shout out to Caleb for being a good man with his woman right now, because I can't do what he's doing.
Yeah, Vlad didn't make the cut, buddy. You would have had another one, but he didn't play enough games by our rules. But
and so let's go to the projections. Okay, let's go to the projections. Let me just stop this screen and then let me present this screen. Boom, 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 real quick. I like the projections on Joey Ortiz, and this was another reason why I was like, okay, well, Joey Ortiz. All right, cool. I don't know what the fuck this shit.
It's coming slowly.
Okay, there he is. Let's just scroll down here. Now, these are the things that I look at, right? Do you see? So if you look at streamer projections, and FGDC is good too, right? But if you look at streamer, right, you got a 20. Get out of here, eyeball. Get out of here. Go away, eyeball. You have a 20.1 K rate, right? With an 8.9 walk rate. Okay. But the projections is what you said. right? 253, 325, 403, right? With with a WOBA of 319, right? So I like the projections here. And
I
if you
don't.
look,
Yeah. Yep.
go ahead.
No, I was
No, I
gonna
was just
say.
saying stolen bases are at 12, but I think he's going to do more. His RBIs are going to go up. Home runs are going to go up a couple. Um, his runs are.
I mean, I think
This is the one that gives me pause. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we could say he gets to a 15-15 guy, but I think if he was an 11-11 guy in his first year, I don't see how you don't give him a couple more ticks there on the occasion just for growth in general. I'm not for sure that I agree with the Steamer and the FDAC on the 8.9 when he was 11% walk rate last year. Not for sure how they think that's going to get worse, looking off of his chase and his whiff numbers that were great on Savant. So I would argue that there's probably another tick there. But yeah, you're right. He goes to 250, 325 here. Like I thought it'd be 340, 400, 410. You're looking at a 750 guy. That's probably a 15 and 15. And like I said, a weak position who's not taking 15 and 15 with a 250, 350, 340 OPB. So like I'm pretty solid here on Joey.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if it's gonna stay there though. I don't know if it's gonna stay there. Caleb, we're gonna see. He says Vlad has eligibility on Fantrax.
It's only because it's 10 games though. We have the settings funny. Like the national contest is the natural contest is 20, and that's what we base the rules off of. Like some leagues do have 10, and if he does, Vlad should be 2 or 3 on your list. If you have a 10-game deal, but we use 20, we went off.
So that's the caveat. Let's make sure that we are using National Fantasy Baseball Championship rules.
Okay, so and it was 20 games, and I think Vlad only had 12. So your home league, your Yahoo league, your Fangraphs league might have Fantrax might have 10 games, and he's in. But for the national, he's not in on third.
Yeah, Vlad should be in your top 3 for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Okay, all right. So let's move on. Let's go. Joey Ortiz, guys, number 15. All right, Joey Ortiz, number 15. Everybody. All right, so let's go to our number 14. If you can guess it. If you can guess one before we put it up, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Like that's fine. If you're on X, do it. If you're on YouTube, do it. If you're on either, please just share the live. And if you're on YouTube, just please subscribe if you're here. And like the live, please. All right, thank you. All right, so next one. Let me get this out of here. Let me stop the screen here. Boom, boom, boom. All right, E. I like this one, but I don't like the team he went to. And did he ever figure out how to go the other freaking way? Right? Can he go the other way? Is it possible for this next player to go the other way?
I don't think it is.
I just don't know. So without further ado, number 14 on our list is Isaac Paredes, and I spelled his fucking name wrong. All right, hold on. Oh shit! Isaac is with 2 A's. Okay. Isaac Paredes. There it is. Isaac Paredes. Right. I spelled his name wrong. I fixed it. So get off my ass. Okay. Isaac Paredes. So this guy started the year with the Tampa Bay Rays, and he was hot down in Tampa. He got to Chicago with the Cubs and didn't look too hot. He didn't play too well, and his numbers kind of reflected, which in turn made his ranking with us go down. Do you agree, Eric?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it was you and I were pretty high on him going into the 24 season. Coming off, he hit 20 home runs in 22 and kind of an abbreviated season. He hit 31 in 23. Dropping back to 19 and 24. Moving to Wrigley Field was his dead pull, as you're going to see on Savant Way. Like, I don't think it's ideal for him there. But he has always been a very intriguing guy because he has power, but it's not projected well. Like he's always low slug, low barrel, low exit velocity, but yet he hits home runs.
Yeah, well, let's look at it. Let's just go to his Savant right now, and just kind of look at what Isak does. Like, and we were high on him. We actually made a move for him, or we drafted him, one of the two, in our Yahoo league.
Yeah.
And I don't remember which one we did. I really don't know. But
I think we drafted him. I mean, we were going after on base percentage. He still had. I mean, you're pulling it up now. I mean,
there it is.
He only hit 238, but he was on base 346. I mean, the man walks 93% on base rate. So, like, if you're talking about a guy that's going to hit 25 homers and put up a 350 OBP, he obviously deserves to be in the top 15. I just have overall concerns of the batting average is never going to be that great. The slugging really dipped last year. It's very concerning. And he's not going to get you anything in the stolen base department whatsoever. So
none.
This is kind of why he ended up here at 14.
He doesn't run, Eric.
No. And he's dead full.
Like ever. Like
look at that. Look at that chart for home runs.
Yeah, it's all here. It's all here. It's all poolside. Like he never sprays.
And it just makes me wonder.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm going to say it just makes me wonder, too, when you see the drop in 12 home runs and you see the drop in batting average, the drop in slugging, like, had they just caught on a little bit, how to pitch to him in this situation. Could you look at 3 in average exit velocity, 6 in 100%, 7 in bat speed? Yuck.
Yeah, but Eric, when you get down here and you look at what was messing him up, look at this. So to your point, right? All he hit was sinkers and sliders. He didn't hit nothing else.
Yep.
Truly, like literally nothing. Okay, he hit a split finger a couple times, but it was only 76 pitches, right? Okay, great. He hit the changeup, right? He hit that pretty good. But the main pitches, right? Curveball, cutter, sweeper, which is huge now, right? He didn't really crush, to be honest. Look at the fastball. 798 is even for par, right? And what that tell you? What do you think they was pitching the fastballs to Isak Paredes at?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're trying to say, look at his 23 run value in the 4 seam. Like he smashed it.
Right. So
now you can tell that, like, probably due to location.
Yeah,
whatever.
They're not going inside to Isak ever. Fastball. Ever.
Right.
It's always up and away or low and away. Fastball. And that's how the numbers are.
And I mean, if you're looking for guys to hit 20 home runs, going to have roughly a 340, 350 on base percentage. It's not a terrible pick. I just don't see a whole lot of upside here. I'm more worried about the downside than the upside.
And I agree. But he still deserves to be number 14 on our list because let's look at our. I mean, let's look at our.
Doubt. I mean, you're talking about a guy, like I said, he's got 20, 25 home run power, and he's got a 340, 350 OBP. Like,
yeah,
he definitely deserves to be on the list.
Yeah, and let's just look at his projections for next year, so we can kind of just see what Isak is going to be doing according to Streamer and things of that nature. So let's just do that real quick. Here's Isak. These numbers. I just don't like these numbers, Eric. I don't like them. Home runs. Yeah, you're gonna get 23 of those. You see 73. You see 75 RBIs.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm seeing a Savant edge again. Do you have as a Savant over top of your Fangraphs?
Oh shoot! I hit the wrong one. I'm sorry, y'all. Bear with me. I am an old man. I wish I had a producer who does these things for me, but they don't. So kiss my ass, okay? All right. There it is. Is that better? Hold on. Yeah, that's better. Okay, Eric, you seeing it now?
Yep.
All right. But the 75 RBIs, 73 runs, 23 home runs, right? Projected 603 plate appearances. But this is too much for me, bro. Like it's too close in my opinion. Like, oh. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, they're not probably wrong. 24 is probably fair. 23 is probably fair. Like I said, 75 runs, 75 RBIs, but 240, 340, 430. I don't think any of this stuff is out of line. And I think this is fair and where he ends up. But from a fantasy standpoint, the 0 stolen bases, the mid on the RBIs, the kind of the mid on the runs, like I'll take the power, I'll take the walks, but this would be more of when you're looking for somebody when you're drafting, and I think this is a point that a lot of people screw up. And I'm just going to be honest about it. They draft too many players and they don't draft stats or they don't draft projections. If you get to a point and you don't have a third baseman yet and you're short on maybe OBP and power, this is probably your guy versus maybe somebody that might be ranked 10 or 11. Like you have to be able to draft your team so that all the parts work together towards the categories you're trying to achieve. So like I said, I'm more scared here on the downside than I am the upside, but I think he could fill out a roster nicely if you're looking for power and you're looking for OBP.
I agree. I absolutely agree. He's an enigma, but I like the chances you can take with him. It's third base. Like if you are going into a fantasy season and third base is like your weakest position, I think you're in a good position, if that makes sense.
Yeah. You either want to be yes.
Okay.
I agree with you. You either want to be one of the top 3 or 4 guys, or you can take any of these mid-range guys, and a lot of these guys are going to come out about the same. And I would probably draft 2 of them and try to ride hot streaks would be how I would manage the season.
Right. And I agree with that, right? So I mean, hold on 1 second. All right, so I had to add him to the ticker.
Yeah. We better get going. That's a half hour. We only got 2 players in.
Damn, are you kidding me? Because we like to talk. Okay, bet. So let's move on. All right, next player. This is my guy. I traded for him mid-season. I thought he was going to do more, but I'm hearing reports that are telling me like he's kind of worn out his welcome in Philly, right? And we're talking about Alec Bohm. And they're saying that like basically he's still a man child and he needs to grow up. And I don't like that, but at the same time, he had a season for the first, let's just call it 100 games. Like he had a season going, like a serious season going. And so he ended up at 13. I had an argument to make him higher, but I settled here with you at 13.
He could end up being higher. Like it might not be surprising, but you get him out of Philly. I mean,
like what is Philly asking him to do?
But like, how many RBI chances and stuff you're going to be looking at if he goes to a lesser team and he's in the middle of the order versus being somebody they were probably trying to pitch around when you got Turner, Schwarber, Harper. Like he was an afterthought. So, like, he had a lot of chances here. And the other thing that really, really scares me is, and when you pull up the Savant page, we'll talk about this. And for everybody that's trying to do analysis and stuff, please stay away from 1 week, 2 week, 3 week. Like, everybody for the most part use like a 100 plate appearances rolling index. And when you see bombs here, like you're going to see like it's pretty scary as towards the tail end of the year. Versus, like you said, he started off. I mean, he was in a home run derby. He was one of the hottest players going.
Yeah,
at mid-season.
He was. So let's pull up his savant, kind of look at it. And like I said, when I made the trade, I said, "Holy shit! I got my everyday third baseman."
Yeah.
And then towards the end of the year, he was hurting me.
Yeah.
He was literally hurting me.
But he is a little better for our league than probably he is for the other dynasty. I mean, hitting 280 when we count hits, right? Yeah. Like that matters in our league. Like, but when you're playing on base percentage, 332 isn't very good. That 42 point differential, you're about to show he doesn't walk a lot. He's 28% in walk. He don't chase, he's got good bat to ball and he don't K, but there's a lot of weak contact here. Overall.
There you go.
Yeah. And look at that 100 rolling ex-Woba there. Over here on the right, underneath his home run.
Yeah. Like it's go ahead.
I'm nervous about him in another lineup. That's probably the only reason I kept him at 13.
But look where he started, E.
I know.
Like, it was just insane. And then it just went bleh.
Like you said, that drop-off almost ended up hurting you towards the end.
It did. It did. Like
I don't like the fact that he don't walk. I don't like the fact that he really don't run. Don't get me wrong. He's going to have 15 home runs. He's going to have a decent average. But that OBP, which is what we'll be playing in, that batting average really doesn't matter a ton. I start worrying about RBI chances, run chances if he's playing for a lesser team than one of the better offenses in baseball that he had in Philly. I worry about those numbers holding. That's why we had him towards the bottom here.
Yeah, and he had 90-something RBIs. But the majority of those RBIs were in the first, let's just call it 100, 120 games.
Yeah.
Like he really did not have that moving towards the end of the season. Like literally.
And for some of the rumors talking about he might end up in Seattle, that's not a hitter-friendly ballpark. It never has been. So like that would make my projections even maybe a little worse here.
Right. I agree. So let's look at his projections.
Yep.
Look at his projections.
That'll be interesting to see.
Go ahead.
What do I give him for home runs here? Probably 17, 18.
Let's see. Wrong button. Goddamn ring. Yeah. If anybody out there in the Twitterverse or YouTubeverse or whatever, and you want to just join the Juke Joint team just to be the person to put shit up on the screen, let me know, because I can use it. I would much rather just talk.
Yeah, I like my role in this. It's fun. I just talk.
I would much rather just fucking talk than to be the one putting the show together, right? And all that. And I asked my nephew to do it. He was like, "Nah, Unc, I'm cool." I'm like, "Damn, you're not going."
Your Christmas present just took a step down, nephew.
Yeah, I mean, he's just like, "Yeah, I'm cool. I don't, Uncle Ray, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that." I'm like, "Damn, Joe, like that's fucked up. I do all this stuff for you. I do all this stuff for you, buddy."
So they got him at 16 and 17 home runs, 77, 75 RBIs. I think that's all very, very reasonable. I think that's where he's going to end up. But you're looking at, a 6.8% walk rate, and that's been pretty standard for him. So I'm just not, again, he's a fine choice. I wouldn't want to have him as my only choice. He would be somebody I'd like to package maybe two of the guys with and try to ride hot streaks, especially until we find out where he's going to end up.
Yeah, so you were right about his projections, right? You're saying 16 home runs. You're saying you're looking at 16 home runs. You're also looking at 75 RBIs, right? From 97 in Philly. And they're projecting this probably because he's not going to be in Philly.
Right.
And it is way too early projections, right?
Sure.
Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, he's a solid piece. And I want to make sure that I put that caveat there. Like, if you need an everyday third baseman and you're in a league that values batting average, you're in a league that values RBIs, then he can be a guy for you, right? Like,
he
he's
is
my
more
guy.
valuable in a batting average league than he is an OBP league, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. And like I said, he's my guy in our home league.
Yep, and he's a little
league.
more valuable than that than he would be in the national.
Right.
For those very
For
reasons.
sure. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And he don't care.
He don't care. And for me, in my experience in fantasy baseball, that's been my biggest fucking thing. Motherfucker, okay, all the fucking time, bring me down, right?
Yeah, and we got a little different rules in the national, so that's how he ends up at 13, even though he's coming off of a 15 and 97 year.
All right, so wrong Muncie. Eric, I always put up the wrong guy. All right, so next guy, number 12. We're going Max Muncy here. We're going Max Muncy. And we're talking about the old guy, not the young guy from the Marlins, right? We're going old Max Muncy from the Dodgers. Okay. Now, Max Muncy, for me, his number one problem is what?
Health.
I want to see if you. Yeah, his health. His health. You know, like I don't know when the last year that he really like. Matter of fact, let's just pull up his Savant. Just start. Instead of drawing it the fuck out, let's just pull up his Savant. Just kind of look at it, right? And look, E. It's all in this grade. In this, it's unqualified, basically.
Yeah, unqualified. You didn't have enough at bats last year, right?
Right. So, like, if you look, he had 482 at bats in 2023, and that went down to 237. But he still hit
that, right?
Yeah, he still hit 15 home runs, so he was on pace for what, at least 30?
A little over 30. I mean, if you double his at bats,
right? 232, 358, 494. Now, he's a guy that I think that in that lineup, with all the protection that he has, he gets to swing away. And so,
And here's another guy, like in our league, maybe not as valuable, but you start talking about the national contest, you're talking about a 30 home run guy with a 350 OBP. I mean, 852 OPS, even in a down year, or in a shortened year for him, this plays. This definitely plays. And to your point, playing for an awesome offense, he's going to have all the opportunities in the world to drive people in, etc.
Right. So I'm just playing his Savant. Look at his Savant through the years. That's 19.
Watch the whiff and K. Watch the whiff and K as he got better. Watch this.
Yeah. Look at that. Going up.
He didn't chase at all. He was 100% in 22.
Yeah.
Chase.
23. And then you get here. So, but here's the other thing. Look at his rolling Woba.
Yep. A little more consistent, right?
That's consistency, right?
Yep.
So, yeah.
You kind of know what you're going to get for him, but you're looking at a 30 home run guy, and if you knew he's going to be healthy, he makes a top 10 here. But I don't know that he's going to be healthy, and that's questionable to why he's 12.
Yeah. Agreed.
And he is going to K a lot, or whatever. Not that that's a huge deal because his on-base percentage is very high. 358 is very good, or whatever. But he is going to K a lot.
He will do that. So let me get up his fan graph. Kind of go from there. I don't know what's going on with my computer right now. It's not giving me what I want. All right. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Are you seeing fan graphs?
Yep. So they got him down for 25, 24 home runs.
Oh yeah, 25, 24. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. 213.
And I would say if he's really going to get 553 at bats, I would say the home run projections are low. But I mean, I don't mind having him in the 24-25 range. But if you go over here to his batting average, he's only going to hit 213. So if you're in a batting average league that matters, it don't matter. But look at, I mean, he's got a 120-point differential for his OBP. So like where Alec Baum's going to hit 280 and still only have a 330, this guy's going to hit 213 and have a 330, and you're going to have more home runs, more RBIs, and probably more runs scored. That's why he's one step in front of Alec Baum. But your league categories matter, but we had to do this off of something. So,
yeah. So we decided to use
got to use the national. I mean, that's the biggest contest in the world, so that's what we used, right?
Yeah. Yep. All right, so let's move to the next guy, right?
Let's go.
Let's see. Where the fuck is? Oh shit! All right, here we go. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Next guy. Oh, hold on. Let me update our.
Just outside the top 10 here.
Yeah. Next guy, Jordan Westberg. And now, and here's what I'm gonna say about Jordan. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna say about Jordan. I like him in the top 10. The reason why he's not in the top 10 is because he didn't finish the season. And I think that's the only reason why Jordan Westberg is not in the top 10. There was a point in the season last year where Jordan Westberg just went on a tear. I want to say it was like a month tear. He not even won Rookie of the Month. I think I want to say in like July. I want to say maybe. It was unreal. Like he went on an insane run. But Jordan Westberg, he has an argument for top 10. He does.
He's knocking on it. Some people are going to leave him off the projections because of like he didn't finish the year and stuff, but they shouldn't, in my mind. Like you're talking about a guy that again played half his season in 23, got 400 bats in 24, but he can move the ball and plays for a great team.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that matters. I think that matters a lot. So let's.
But you're looking, he played in 24. He played 53 games at second base, and he played 67 games at third. So you're going to get dual eligibility out of him. Unlike some of the other guys, he potentially can run. I mean, if you go down to his sprint speed, he's in the 91st percentile. So if he's healthy, could I see double-digit stolen bases out of him instead of the 6 he got last year? Of course. Now, Baltimore don't run a ton outside of Gunnar runs a little bit, but he's actually better than actually he runs. So it's not kind of their team philosophy. But I put him at 11. I like his upside more than I like some of the guys that we left behind, maybe other than Joey. But, I mean, like you said, I think he's got potential. He's obviously shown the ability to put up big numbers in short periods of time before. And I like him here at 11.
Yeah.
I think he's a, 20 home run guy that's going to probably hit 265, 270 for a great team.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that you can't freaking what's the word I'm looking for? You can't never put him on the bench, in my opinion. And I like
and you're going to get the dual eligibility out of him. That's so important, especially in these big contests. Can you swing him over to second base? Can you swing him over to third? Like, can you move him around? I mean, that's why he's more valuable here for me than the 3 previous guys. Is to be honest with you, is I get 2 positions of eligibility. I'm over on his Fangraph page now, but I mean, if you want to swing it over, I mean, you're looking at. They got him down 120 and 19 home runs, right? So, I mean, 70 runs, 75 RBIs. They got him at 9 and 8 stolen bases. So, you're looking at a 20 and 10 guy. They got projected out to be at 260 hitter, the 447 slug. You're looking at a 7 67 projection guy. Like, for a team that's going to have lots of chances to score runs. Also, keep in mind, I don't know how much it would have mattered, but Baltimore is moving into the left field fence as well. So, like,
that's right. Yeah, they're moving it. They're changing Camden. They changed it Camden. I did see that announcement.
So, all that stuff is interesting.
Yeah, and I think that Jordan Westburg, to me, is a top 10 player that just didn't make the list because of how the season ended. Had he played from the time that he got called up to the end of the season and through the playoffs, he might be, top 8.
Yep,
for real. He's that good. He's that good. Okay,
I agree with you.
So I don't want nobody to get it twisted. Like, he is that good. All right. Okay, so now we're going to get into the minutia, because this is where Eric and I kind of started disagreeing in the 10 through 6. The 10 through 6 is kind of where we just like, all right, what are we doing here? I had my list. Eric had his list, but we kind of did agree on this guy, right? And this guy is Royce Lewis for the Minnesota Twins. Okay. Now, once again, here we are again, Eric. Number one concern, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's never been healthy. Ever been healthy.
You didn't have to say it like that, E.
Well, I mean, it's not false. The most at bats he's ever put up was last year at 292.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he's got power. He's got upside. He's still very young at 25. I mean, he was the 1-1 pick. They believe in him, but he's got some bad tendencies too. Chase, whiff, etc. But, I mean, could he hit 35 home runs and drive in 110? Absolutely. Could he spend the whole year on the IL? Wouldn't surprise me. Like, that's the problem, and that's why he's the bottom. Let me put it this way. He has probably top 6, 7 potential, but he's at 10 because of health.
And Eric, here's the problem. You probably don't even want to pull up his Savant because it's like
it's not even, a lot of it's never going to be qualified.
It's never qualified. Yeah.
But I can tell, I have it up. Like, the Chase is in the bottom third. He whiffs more than 73% of the time. His Ks are in the bottom percentage of the league, and he don't walk. He's about right on, right on league average, 8% walk. So the walking isn't terrible, but I think there's better potential than here on the outside than he's ever shown. I believe that he potentially has a 30, 35, 100 RBI season in him. I mean, when you look at, he hit 309 in 23, but last year he only hit 233. So, I mean, somewhere in between there's the truth.
Somewhere in between. The shameful thing is it all depends on his health. Right? Like, there's no other reason to not like Royce Lewis.
You cannot draft Roy Lewis as your only third baseman.
That's true. So
you got to have coverage here.
These rankings are for 1-year drafts. So if you can get somebody to back him up, please do.
Yeah,
please do.
I mean, if let's say you first couple rounds go by, you don't have a third baseman yet. You want to do a Royce Lewis, Joey Ortiz sandwich there, that would make a lot of sense. Or a Royce Lewis, Jordan Westburg sandwich there, that would make a lot of sense. Maybe taking 2 third basemen almost back to back in the draft trying to equal like a 1. But he's got big time power. Fangraphs has got him hitting 26, 27, driving in 79, 76. They got him hitting 250, coming out 770.
I mean, but his K rate is insane.
It's terrible. He's a little under the average in walks, and he's a little over it in the Ks. And he chases. It's not the best formula for going forward. But like I said, you want to talk about a man that can get hot. I mean, could he hit 35? Absolutely. Absolutely, he could hit 35 all day long. But could he do nothing like he did last year for the most part of the second half? Yes, he could do that as well.
Okay.
And he's on my team.
Because you made a move for him.
I made a move because I needed the power, I thought, down the stretch, and then he had a power outage. So that was nice of him. Like, what was his rolling? Did he even do a rolling? Yeah, I mean, his rolling was terrible. It was under 300 on his XBA. Like, yuck.
Was his rolling under 300? Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh,
started
shit,
under
it was.
300. Stayed under 300. Like, it was bad. It was bad. He had a bad second half, but I don't know if he was ever quite healthy in that ordeal. But
yeah, like, I mean,
this is a pure upside play. He could be number 5 and he could be number 25. It wouldn't surprise me either way.
That's true. I agree with that assessment. All right, so Eric, I did not disagree. I did not disagree with our number 9 player. I think our changes started coming in the next few because I thought this guy showed improve last year. I think he's a what's the word I'm looking for? A fringe superstar. To be honest, I think he's just a stud. He's a stud. The guy I'm talking about is Mark Vientos.
Yeah.
And Mark Vientos for the Mets became the last few months, he was hard to handle.
Yeah.
I mean, teams had to game plan for him. They really did.
We might have. This is one guy.
Go ahead.
We might have too low.
Right, right. Like, and when I made the list, so just so y'all know, like Eric and I, like we have our own chat on Twitter, right? Yeah. And I sent him this, and he was like, "No, buddy, this is kind of wrong." So we're gonna get to it. I just gave you a little preview, but like Vientos for me, I started to put him higher, but it was like, okay, what do I do with this other guy? Because he's a third baseman now, right? He's a third baseman now. And there's another young guy above him, but this guy might be better than the other guy. But I think the upside is higher for the other guy up top.
His Savant page, ultimately, for being, I wouldn't say, I mean, he's kind of a rookie. He had 218 plate appearances or 233 plate appearances in 23. He got to 454 last year. Like, his Savant page scared me into 9. But if you're looking at straight projections, they've got him, I'm guessing based off what I'm seeing here, they probably got him hitting 27, 28 home runs again. But if you look at his whiff rate and his K rate and his chase rate, I'm scared. Now, he barreled up 92% of the time, but is he going to be able to repeat that again? I don't know. I don't know that I don't know if you tell me a guy is in a 24 percentile chase, 4% whiff, bottom 8% Ks, only walks 7.3% of the time. You tell me somehow he barrels 92% of the balls again next year, I would bet against that. That's why he's at 9. But, I mean, he could. If he does, he's going to hit 30 home runs.
It's funny you say that. Okay, without looking, project his slash line with home runs. Without looking.
Without looking, I would say he's probably a 240 hitter, probably 280, 294. No, probably almost 500. Probably 5. I'll say 500 even slug. I'd probably say he hits 26, 27 home runs.
You are off. You're
they
off,
got him
buddy.
More than that?
You're off.
They got him more than that?
Less on the slug, but more on the home run.
They got him hitting 33 or 35. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know where they get to. I don't know where they can get to 70% differential there. I guess they get in the 8% walk rate, small tick up from the 7.3.
Yeah.
But how's a guy going to hit 35 home runs and only hit 240 and slug 468? That basically says he has no doubles at all. Like,
Yeah, it's either all or nothing with him. Basically, is what they say.
Yeah, but I mean, the home run power is there, and they got him at 97, 93 RBIs. If this is his true stat line, we have him probably too low. I question on my index. I don't think, based off what I see here, he can slug in the 84, average X velocity 82, and barrel 92%. Again, with a 24% chase rate, 4% whiff rate, 8% K rate. Like I don't think he can repeat that.
Definitely not with the adjustments pitchers are going to make for him.
Right.
They're just not. They're not. Okay. They're not going to let him just go ham like he did as a rookie. I'm sorry. Pitchers are too good. They're too smart. They
and again he don't another third baseman. If you're noticing a theme in third baseman, and it's going to come up here in a second to why some guys are higher. He don't run it all either. 22%.
Eric, he does not run.
He was terrible at third base. He was a -7. They're already talking about maybe moving him to first.
-7 WAR.
No, -7 OAA. 6th percentile.
I don't know why I said WAR, but you're right.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm surprised at the projections of 35 and 33 home runs. That's a lot. To think he's going to go up 6 more, but they also gave him 679 plate appearances. So they're predicting a healthy season here for sure. I would bet the under on pretty much every stat line here, as I just did, as I projected.
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, I mean,
okay,
he's interesting. He made the top 10. I mean, he's got the power there. He's interesting.
All right, so Eric, here's where we go. Okay, yep. I said, let's do. Okay, well, let me just say this. I said my 8th player is Chisholm. You said your 8th player is Caminero. I had Caminero at 7. You had Jazz at 7. I don't know which way we're going. So we have to decide between Jazz and Junior Caminero at 8.
Yeah, I put Jazz higher. 2 reasons.
Okay.
One is I get 2 eligibility spots out of him.
Okay, I like that reasoning.
And the stolen bases.
Now, so are you telling me Junior doesn't steal? Because I thought he did.
I'm not saying he doesn't, but I don't believe it's part of his natural thing. He sold 2 last year. His sprint speed was 25. Like, I don't see it. Where I could see Jazz potentially stealing you 25 to 30.
Jazz
stole 40 bases last year.
He stole 40 last year?
And hit 24 home runs. So I had Jazz higher here.
Okay.
But I favor multiple positions and stolen bases a lot in my projections.
Okay, so let me just kind of like preference why I had Junior. And I think this is another thing where I had Dynasty mixed with 1 year. Okay. But at the same time, I think Junior is going to break out and he's going to give me almost 100 RBIs. He's also going to give me almost 30 home runs. And I think that he's going to be the linchpin for that offense in Tampa. And I think he has no problem hitting anything. Like legit. So let me just kind of let me scroll down here.
I don't disagree. He's 30 home run potential guy, 100 RBIs, 90 RBIs.
Yeah.
He actually has pretty good back control too. He could be above a 250. I don't love Junior Caminero. I don't know that and I know I'm probably going to be in the minority here. Like I would put a few other guys if I'm trying to project 3 or 4 years down the road in the dynasty model before I would have Junior there. But you're right. If you're going to get 30 home runs out of a guy, I mean, he is top 10. I mean, we got him top 10 for a guy that only has 165.
So in the comments, Junior will steal bags, right?
Tampa really don't run.
Jazz won't hit 40 bombs with 95 RBI.
I didn't say he's going to hit 40 bombs. He said he stole 40 bags.
Yeah. Well, he's saying Junior has the potential to do 40 and 95.
That's a lot. That's a lot with his terrible chase, terrible whiff.
With a 275 average and probably slug 450, 500.
Way too high. Way too high.
And okay, so let's look at let me just look at his let's look at Junior's projections, okay?
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring up Junior's projections right now.
You can go to Fangraphs or you're gonna go to Savant?
I'm going to Fangraphs. I'm not worried about Savant because Savant with Junior is kind of like
there ain't a giant sample size there.
Yeah. So here you look. Closer than you thought, E. So
he's got 28 home runs in, right? 28 home runs in. They got him hitting 260, 460. I mean, he's not slugging 500. He's not hitting 40 home runs.
Yeah.
Anytime you see a guy that only walks 6.7% of the time, they can already tell you his chase is bad. They can tell you on the deal. And they got him down for 5 stolen bases. So he's not running anywhere. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. The most he's ever stolen in his life was 7. So he's not running. He's not running.
You say he's not running.
He's not running. He has less career stolen bases than Jazz had last year. He's not going anywhere.
Okay.
But he just reminds me of a lot of these other guys. He's in his same box. I don't think he's any better than Mark Vientos was. Like, what's the difference? He said Mark Vientos actually hit 27 home runs in the major leagues last year. And don't get me wrong, I'm a little fond of Junior because if you can remember last year in the chat, I called his initial home run off the pitcher and made
I do remember that.
Money and made some other people money. I knew that was a good matchup for him, and I think he's got talent. But overall, what do I think he is? I think he's what this says he is. It's a 260 hitter, 315 on base percentage, 461 slug, 770. That's where he's been. I don't see him being an 880, 850 deal like you and Caleb do. I just don't.
Yeah. Okay. So let me just present this. Let's just go here, and I do like. And this is why for me I was just like, right. Look at Jazz. So 24 home runs. He had 40 bags, 256, 324, 436. This is Jazz, right?
Yeah.
I believe this is who.
Here, I'll give you an example. I'm on Junior's page, right?
Okay.
His projections are 262, 315, 461.
Mm-hmm.
That's almost what we're looking at, right? I mean, unless you're going to split hairs about 9 or 10 points.
So you said 262, 315, 461 for Junior, and then we're looking at 256, 324. Okay, all right. So now what moves one above the other? That's
40 stolen bases.
That's bad.
And I get two position eligibility spots out of Jazz, but I only get to 1 spot for Junior. I get third base and outfield.
Okay. So
that's why I had him higher. But I favor the multiple positions and the stolen bases a lot in my factoring. I'm not going to lie, but I'm also 2-time defending champion, so some people might want to listen.
Yeah. You didn't have to say that, you son of a bitch. You didn't have to say that. All right. I'm going to concede just on that notion. I will concede. And then we'll go 8, right? We'll go number 8. We'll we'll go Junior, right? Right. We'll go Junior, and then we'll go 7 Jazz. Shit. All right, so we're gonna go 8 Junior Caminero, and we're gonna go 7 Jazz Chisholm. Yeah,
like it.
I like it. I like it. I'm not going to I'm not begrudging anything right here. I'm not at all. I just,
I also think here team makeup matters, right? Like if you need the home runs more than you need the stolen bases, if you've got stolen bases covered, and you need the power more when you come to the third baseman spot, draft Junior over Jazz. He's going to hit probably more home runs than Jazz is. But if you're there and you're you play fantasy the way that I play fantasy, everybody's got to kind of do multiple things among themselves and has multiple spot eligibility, Jazz should be higher, in my opinion.
No, and I can't argue with that. That's sound logic. Therefore, I concede, right? I will put the ticker back
now
up.
we get to jump right to 6.
Yeah. That was the plan the whole time. See?
Yeah.
Right? And six might piss some people off, but we agree.
It's gonna. Huh? It's gonna piss people off for sure.
It's gonna piss people off. But we have our reasons for naming this guy at number 6. Hold on 1 second. Let me just kind of fix our our production here. And like I said, I'm gonna say it again. If you guys, if you want to be the producer
production
for the show,
intern job is open.
It's open, man. Like, come on. I don't care. Reach out to me. But Eric, they're gonna be so mad, and I'm kind of scared. Matter of fact, fuck, I don't care. Here it is, number 6.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And I said Alec like he's like Bone. Hold on. Let me hide that. My ass. Right? Yeah. So come at us, bro. Come at us. Like if you don't like our ranking with Alex Bregman being 6, but I'm gonna let Eric tell you why, and then I'm gonna start showing you some things that kind of had me. Yeah. Alex Bregman, 6.
I mean, there's a lot of unknown here. For one, if he's leaving Houston, and leaving the Crawford boxes, I mean that matters.
That matters.
You're looking at a guy that WRC plus from 2020 till now, 120, 114, 137. Nice year in 2022. 126 down to 118. He's coming off almost his career low since his rookie season in WRC plus. Like, he just feels like he's getting old to me. It feels like injuries and stuff have caught up with him, and he's going to be changing homes and lineups from one of the most hitter-friendly ballparks around. So that, to me, a lot of that stuff is what kept him out of. I mean, you're going to see it. You're going to see his X-slug, his average exit velocity, his hard hit are all way down. Like, we're going to talk about guys that I would avoid in the draft. This guy is right at the top of my board who I would avoid.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm with you. He is down on my board. He's down on your board. He's down on our board. How about that? Yeah. Like, legit. Like, he does not he just doesn't move the needle for me anymore. He deserves respect.
Listen,
for sure.
He can square it up. He don't whiff. He don't K. He puts in the work. He puts in the deal. I respect him, but age 30. He's not going to get the contract he's looking for. He's going to end up on a short-term deal somewhere with probably a contender. And moving away from Houston is a big negative. If you look at when you pull up his Savant here, look at his home runs.
There it is. Look at it. It's Crawford boxes.
You remove that from there.
Crawford boxes.
Yeah, and you're talking about a guy that, like I said, barreling 34, average exit velocity down to 51, X-Lux 59. And do you think at age, it's going to be 31, do you think at age 31 that stuff's going back up, or would you tend to believe this 100 rolling pattern that you see? Like, to me, I would say he trends down versus trending up. That's why he's outside the top 5. Even though historically been a big-time player, great in the postseason, big-time bat. But that 768 last year OPS, sliding down the wrong way, coming off a career what used to be an 849.
Absolutely.
I think Father Time is winning here.
Yep. And for the people at home, if you don't understand Eric, can you explain what xwOBA is?
Yeah, that's your expected weighted OPA, which talks about your on-base percentage, batting average, the whole thing. It's a package of adding slug with your hit, and you're expected to what it's supposed to come out on a deal at bat. It's important if you're really trying to evaluate talent. Anybody uses actual stats, you can just hang up the phone on them. Just hang up. They don't understand. They don't know. Just hang up. Expected stats is where it's at. What was supposed to happen based off this deal, and he run this 1,000 times. Yeah. So, you see him here dipping to probably what I would guess are darn near career lows and right at league average. You can see the league average over there in the corner, right? He was borderline there, down to league average. But I think we gave him some respect. For a guy that's not going to run and not going to deal, we have him in front of Jazz. We have him in front of Junior. We still got him number 6. It's just that perennially he was probably a top 3 or 4 guy. I just don't think he is anymore.
Nope, he's not. And like I said, it might piss some people off, but at the same time, he belongs here, as someone in the chat said. He belongs here. He belongs at 6. He does not.
Somebody believes with it?
Yep.
Somebody agree with us? I like it. I like it.
Somebody agrees with us. So we're pulling. So if you haven't been here for the whole hour and 12 minutes we've been on, there's a ticker at the bottom of the screen going through each one of our rankings. We started at 15. We're up to number 5 now. Okay, we're up to number 5, and we're in our top 5. So we're gonna keep it going. Eric, this one, I don't know. What do you think? You think this one's going to be controversial? I don't know. I don't think it is.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's controversial. All right. So number 5, Matt Chapman. Matt Chapman, people. Like him, love him. If you don't like him or love him, I don't know what baseball you were watching last year. But he earned this spot last year. His career has been, what's the word I want to use for his career? It's been solid, and he doesn't change who he is no matter where he goes. Does he change teams a lot? Not really, but he does. But I think he's found a home. Go ahead.
I think what put him in the top 5 here was the team change a little bit.
Yeah.
Agreed. You'll see it when a Savant pulls up, but one of the most things that's underrated here, and when you're trying, as we've said, a lot of third basemen don't run. His change to a different organization, Chapman can run. He's 84% sprint speed. He stole 15 bags last year. So that was the difference of keeping him in the top 5 versus maybe one of the other guys sliding in the top 5 was, to be honest with you, you're going to pick up 15 to 20 stolen bases along with, listen, he's going to play every day, defensive whiz at third. He hit 27 home runs, probably Fangraphs. When you're playing, that's the kind of stuff I'm looking for.
Yeah, we're being threw up on and saying he's just a streaky hitter.
He's
I
just a
disagree.
what?
Streaky hitter.
Streaky.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's pretty consistent.
I don't know. This
and he got 80% differential in splits almost every year.
Yeah, this is
90 the year before in Toronto.
Yeah, this is his splits. So if you look at his splits, 270, 247, 328, 463, 791.
Yeah, you want to know what his total is? You want to know what his career average is?
Go ahead.
241. Oh, it says it right there. 329.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Same.
So what's the difference between every year? I don't see a whole lot of streaky here. Like there's nothing here that screams streaky to me.
I did not realize he was an 84% sprint speed.
He can run, and he's always been able to run. But Toronto historically is not a big base running team. Maybe it was San Francisco, a little different organizational philosophy. He picked up 15 bags. That's why I moved him into the top 5. That's why you and I moved him into the top 5 here. Versus
I absolutely agree
guys
in the top 5.
Yep,
absolutely agree. Yep, and that's why I said this one might give us some flack, but I don't think it should because I think it's substantiated. Let's go here with his projection.
Well, they got him at
his projections.
26, 27 home runs. They got him at 10
26, 24 home runs. 82, 77 runs.
They got him at 242, 330, 437, just about as pretty much as, little under his average on the slug part.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else is almost right in Q. It's his average. Yeah. I mean,
and he doesn't miss games.
He does not miss games.
He doesn't miss games.
151, 155, 140, 154. I mean, he plays. He plays. I like him better than I like Jazz.
Yep.
Junior and Bregman because I'm going to pick up the stolen bases there, and I know what I'm going to get. I know I'm going to get 25 home runs, 75 runs, 85 RBIs. I mean, that's just, and I'm going to pick up 15 bags. So,
yeah.
And I know there's some more advanced leagues out there. If you're playing in one that matters with defense, you're also getting an elite third baseman.
Yep. I agree. Like I said, our issue was not top 5. It was not 11 through 15. It was 6 through
10. We battle a little, but that's a tough category.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you choose between Junior, Vientos, Jazz, like Roy Lewis? That's a tough spot there.
Yeah. So Caleb said he would take Junior and Jazz over Chapman, but he would take Chapman over Alex.
Yeah. I don't hate the Jazz comment, probably. I'm not sold. I think it depends. One year, next year, I'm taking Chapman. But it wouldn't surprise me if Junior passes him at some point, maybe. But I just don't think Junior's going to hit like everybody thinks he's going to hit. I don't like his foundational characteristics.
I feel you. All right, let's move on. I feel you. I'm not upset. Our list is what our list is, and I stand behind the research that we've done. I stand behind the conversations that we've had.
This is a weak position.
It's a fucking weak position. I mean, if we have, let me just say this: if we have Matt Chapman, and where people be like, "Why is Matt Chapman in the top 5?" That should tell you everything, right? For real.
Yep.
Like for real. Okay. The ticker's still going. If you're still with us, thank you. Matter of fact, let me just say this before we move on to the rest of the top 5. Thank you guys for being here. I know it's way early for fantasy baseball, but I appreciate the people that took the time to watch us. And if you can, please share with other people. We do want to do this. We're going to be doing this every Monday. Next week it'll be second base, which is another weak position, but second base is different. Second base is like multiple position crazy, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I love second base. So anyway, let's just move on. Let's go down to our number 4 pick. Our number 4 pick, You should not be mad. You should be happy he's here. And I think from here on out, we shouldn't have any issues.
Right? I mean, I think everybody should know. I think these four talk for themselves. I think it's pretty easy.
Yep. Manny Machado. I gave up on Manny. I'm gonna admit that Manny and I have a love-hate relationship. That I don't like him, but then I have to like him. Or let me say this: I don't like him, but I respect his game. Put it that way. And that's just how I can square that. I really don't like Manny Machado. I don't know what it is. You know, maybe I'm I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm praying.
I've never been a big fan, especially the way he's conducting himself out on the field at times. But
yeah, I mean, maybe that's it. Maybe I'm still bah humbugging about Manny Machado.
I am too. I mean, holding grudges from past, but I mean, he's a lot like Chapman. I mean, he's pretty consistent. I mean, listen to this. Home runs the last 4 years, 28, 32, 30, 29. Like it's just, you know what you're going to get. He's going to hit 270. He's going to hit 30 bombs roughly, and he's going to drive in right around 100. You just kind of know what you're going to get, and it's very steady. And he's sneaky on a stolen bases pass. He could get you 10. It wouldn't be shocking. He got you 11 last year. Like, I think this is a pretty easy spot. He's a top 5. Now, I'd pay very close attention to ADP here. I wouldn't go off the charts to get him. As you can tell, like three of his last 4 seasons, you're looking at a 123, a 113, and a 122 WRC. He had a better 2022. But, like, again, if you're going to know what you're going to get, and the guy's going to hit 270, drive in 30, hit 100, I mean, he's a top 4 third baseman for sure.
So look at his xLUG stays above 450.
Yeah.
So,
and he's at home. He belongs in San Diego. I feel like he's part of that deal. Him and Tatis, I feel like they belong in San Diego.
No, I agree. I have no issue. And don't throw him a sinker.
He don't walk a ton.
Hey, Eric, look, don't throw him a sinker. Just don't.
Yeah, nothing down. Nothing down, right? Nothing down.
All right, so let's just look at his expected. Oh, not his expected.
Yeah, well, they got him at Steamer. I would guess it's got to be 30 home runs. I mean, right at
30. 30 home runs, 83 runs, 100 RBIs, 268, 328, 473. On par.
Yeah, and he's only what? He's still probably only 29?
How old is Manny? Shit.
Oh, he is 32.
He's 32. He's 32.
Yeah. Yeah, so probably a little lower on the dynasty scale, but for a 1-year deal, give me the 30 and the 100. Like, I'm not afraid here. If Manny Machado's my everyday third baseman, it's a win. I'm not jumping the ADP to grab him. I'm not crazy about him, but I know what I'm getting.
Yeah. All right. So I can't stand the fact that, like, the majority of these people are on one team in our league. I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it like crazy. All right. So next guy. Next guy. You ready, E?
I'm ready.
All right. Austin Riley.
Yeah.
Austin Riley. New York, not saying New York. Atlanta Braves. He had a weird year. A really weird year. But it's Austin Riley. So.
And he's only 27. You know, he's got big time power out of this group. He's probably one of the handful of guys that could hit 40.
For sure.
And only being 27, being with the Braves, being the deal, a little bit younger. Coming off a monster 23 season, I just had him a little higher than I did Manny. But if you want to say Manny should be 3 and Austin would be 4, I'm not gonna I'm not going to jump on. I'm not going to jump on a ledge to defend either one. Like, I just think they're both very similar players. I just think the power upside's a little bigger with Austin.
I agree. And I don't think we have to spend too much time with.
I mean, I think it's self-explanatory. Like,
yeah, with the top three, I think we're just like, hey, here we are. Top.
Everybody knows. Everybody should have known who the top 5 were, in my opinion. Like, I don't think it was a shock to anybody.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at this, you live with the chase and the whiff with him because he's going to connect.
Yeah, and not only that, go ahead and run the career. I'm going to guess that's a little. I'm going to guess 23 was a little better, or 22 maybe.
Let's see. 21 was.
I was pretty high on him in 23.
There it is. Oh yeah, it was a little higher. Higher than 23.
The case was a little better.
Yeah.
But the whiff and the K was down. But he wasn't completely healthy last year. Listen, he hit 38 home runs right here, right? 38 and 22, 37 and 23, down to 19. But
yeah, I mean,
but 877, 861. This is the guy that could move the needle at third base. He could be the number 1 third baseman power-wise, and it wouldn't surprise anybody. Where Machado don't have that in him, in my opinion. That's why I gave him the 1 notch up here over Manny.
All right. So if we're looking at his steamer projection, we got 32 home runs, 89 runs, 99 or 100 RBIs, 267, 336, 487. So it's also
I got him at 126 WRC plus, puts him pretty close to that 23 stat line of 37, 117, and 97. Like, I would take that.
Yeah, I mean, it's Austin Riley. Like, it's not like I don't know. Like, that's.
And he plays for a great team. If you notice something in here, like all these guys in the top 5, minus Chapman, but you're talking about Manny, Riley, the 2 guys that come, they all play for winning clubs. But again, He's not a first rounder. His ADP won't be first round. It'll be late second, early third when that stuff comes out, when we revisit next show. I'm not jumping off the page to grab here, but of all the power upside, he's the one that has the most, in my opinion.
So, hold on, I think I spelled his name wrong. God damn it, Raymond. Stop spelling people's name wrong. That's crazy. Yeah, I did spell it wrong. Son of a bitch. I sure did. All right, hold on, let me fix it. Before we go any further. And I think everybody should know who this is.
I can't, like I said, I don't think any of this should shock anybody.
All right. Rafael Devers, people. It's Rafael Devers. If you didn't know, you should have knew. It's Rafael Devers. It's Rafael Devers. Like, that's just who it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's tiers, right? And this Riley, Devers, Machado tier are probably all very close. When we put up the draft championship ADP, you're going to see them all going to be very, very close.
He should be number 1 in the chat. What are we doing?
That's not even possible.
I think Junior can match. So Caleb said he thinks Junior Caminero can match Riley when we revisit this next year. I'm gonna star this comment, and you can
start all you want, but anybody that strikes out and swings as much as Junior at balls is never going to be as productive as Riley.
Ooh, I don't know, Eric. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, yeah.
I mean, you just don't project well. Junior doesn't project well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong. He's going to run into something. But I'm not sold on Cameron through all of his minor league splits and all of his stuff. I'm just not sold.
Well, here's Rafael Devers. So look at his career: 27 home runs in 22, 33 in 23, 28 in 2024. Pretty much same at bats. I just think the league kind of caught up with him a little bit, but he did have a couple injuries that was nagging him last year. Yeah. 272, 354, 516 slug, 870.
And let's be honest, he didn't have a ton of help in that lineup. I mean,
shit. You never lied about that.
He didn't have a ton of help in that lineup.
He did not. Nope. And that's why they're in the market to make some moves this year to try to get him some help because he needs it. Right? He needs it.
I mean, there's one big guy that everybody's trying to get right now that would change all of it. So, I mean, change all of that. So.
Yeah. And then they got him projected as 32, 96, 97, 95, whatever, 262, 349, 499, with a WRC plus of 130. Love it.
Yeah, 133, 140, 124, 134. I mean, those are the best numbers we've seen compared to the other people we've had behind him. So, I mean, none of that's surprising, right?
Nope, not one bit. But it ain't better than the next guy. It is not better than the next guy.
But I want to, if you're playing fantasy baseball and you're trying to win and you're trying to be competitive and you're trying to do the right things, it's important that you listen to me. This is a weak position, and it's really weak in the stolen base category. There are two players, I think, that's in our top 15 that stole more than 20, and they both stole 40. And so you're buying 40 stolen bags or you're buying less than 20 and this whole entire group. Like, it doesn't run. So, I mean, if you're drafting, there's only one player that'll have an ADP in the first round, and it's the number one guy overall. Everybody knew he was going to be number one guy. But, he's the only one that is consistently a first-round ADP on the third base level.
This is true. And I think everybody should know who it is. Eric, if they don't know who this is.
Everybody knows. I mean, it's not even close. It's like one and then four in most positions.
I can't wait till we get to the algorithm type thing to where I can put in nicknames and it just pops up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's J-Ram, y'all.
Yeah.
Jose Ramirez is number friggin' one third baseman, fantasy baseball. And I don't care. If it's dynasty, I don't care. If it's 1 year, I don't care. I'm going to get a couple years out of him and then I'll make a move in dynasty, right? So, and I'll definitely be drafting to take his spot. But as long as he's playing and he's playing at the level he's playing at, he's my number one third baseman. Eric, I'm pretty sure you feel the same.
Yeah, he's the one guy you can reach for just because of weakness at the position.
Eric, I'm not even gonna say nothing.
Yeah, don't even bring up pointless comments.
Yeah. Hey, and he said, and then Caleb says, "Shit, I forgot about J-Ram." There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when he said Devers should have been number one, I was like, I think you forgot about somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, he was 39 home runs, 41 stolen bases. You know, his WRC plus since 2020 is 167, 140, 140, 122, 141. This will probably be, and I would, speaking of starring comments, I'm going to guess on the ADP level, God, I have to think through this a little harder, but this might be the biggest gap between where the number one guy goes and where the number two guy goes. There's a big separation between Jose Ramirez and the rest of the league at third base.
This is true.
From a fantasy standpoint.
He's 32 years old.
Yeah.
He's in his prime. I'm sorry.
Look at the stolen base going up with the manager change there.
Yep, 41 stolen bases. Yeah. I mean, sprint speed is 74, but he knows how to steal bags.
Right? Yeah, don't care. You know what you're getting. He's
yeah.
the one guy that, like I said, I don't know. He'll probably come out 1-7, 1-8 in your ADP level. He'll be the first third baseman. I'm guessing if you think Devers is next, he's probably not coming until 2-4, 2-5, 2-6 in that range, probably for an ADP.
Middle of second round.
Middle second round. So there's a pretty big gap here. So, and the second you get him, like here, you really want to play the game correctly, in my opinion. If you can have him and Jazz, you shut the whole league out of stolen bases at third base. Him and Jazz are the only two I believe that have more than 20.
You're giving out too much. 40. You're giving out too much sauce, E.
Well, listen, I want the league to be more competitive. So, and I know that probably the only sickles that are watching this point is our group is still probably hanging on. So, this is how you do stuff. This is how you win.
Actually, no. Our numbers have gone up, E. So
well, good. Say that. And this is how you try to win fantasy leagues, is you maximize position of strengths. It's not a mistake that I have Jose Ramirez and Ketel Marte on my same team. 2 weak positions, 2 of the best players. Equals championship.
Ketel Marte is definitely on your team. I hate that song. I love him. I love that guy. And I forget when you drafted him. All right, so 279, 349, 502. I mean, it's Jose Ramirez, right? 31 home runs. He does not K.
No.
He just doesn't K. Son of a bitch will take you a pitcher 27 to a 27 pitch at bat. Easy.
Yeah, he was at 30. Look at that. 38.5 offensive WAR last year. Crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean,
crazy.
All right.
But
so
I like our rankings. I feel good about them.
I do too.
I mean, let's do our sleepers quick, fast. But I think you could argue some people can make the top 15, but I like our list. It'll be interesting when the ADP comes out, how close it came to what we have here.
Yeah. All right. So here's my sleeper. My sleeper at third base is Connor Norby. I like him. I think the second half of the year for Connor Norby was just a preview of who he can be. I think that the young man, 24 years old, I think that Miami is a place they don't develop. Well, I can't say that. Well, I guess they do develop. But positional players, it's not like they're pitching. They do well on pitching, but positional players.
Right.
Yeah, I think he was developed in the right system, which is Baltimore, if that makes sense. And I think that transferred and it kind of showed once he got a chance because he was backlogged in Baltimore. I think that now that he has a chance, he's going to shine. Right. And I think that he's like, if you look at his 50 ex Woba, Eric, if you look at his 50 ex Woba, right? If you look, I'm gonna share the screen here, right? Look at his 50 ex Woba.
Yeah.
So I mean, like little dips or whatever, but he's I think this is who he is. Look at his barrel rate, right?
Yeah.
He barrels up. 236,
a lot like Junior. We're looking at a small sample size here. I'm guessing it's
smaller sample size. Yeah,
almost similar probably in Junior. But then, he's going to get playing time. You know that for sure.
But look at his sprint speed, and they haven't had him start to steal bases. But I think he can.
Yeah, he stole 3. Not terrible. He didn't play a ton of games, so he's double-digit sprint speed for sure. Double stolen base guy.
Yeah.
I don't for a sleeper pick. I like this pick. I don't love him. I don't think he probably should have made our top 15, but I think it's a very good sleeper pick. I mean, if you take this projection times 4.
Yep.
I guess we can't take it times 4, but take it times 3. You're looking at a 25 and 10 guy, right?
Yep.
If he can repeat that. So being able where he's going to be drafted, I wouldn't mind this. I wouldn't mind this as a sleeper pick for sure.
Okay. And that's just where I am with that. And then Now this is a guy that your sleeper pick was a shocker. I didn't think you were going to go there, because I myself was very very high on him last year. You
Me too. And he
you were
disappointed.
he disappointed, but I was banging the table for him,
Yeah.
banging the table for him. Like, yo, I think he's going to break out. But what I think kind of happened is that he put a lot of pressure on himself, and he was hurt, and you know, it's it's just
I think for the
uh
first time he had expectations, and I
yeah,
don't think he got handled well.
and I don't think he handled it well either. Nope. But we're talking about Eric Sleeper, which is Cabrian Hayes.
Yeah.
Eric Sleeper is Cabrian Hayes, and like I said, I was super coming off of 23. I thought he was going to take off like a rocket ship, but he disappointed. Expectations caught up to him. I think that he put a lot of pressure on himself. He was hurt, and he just didn't. He underwhelmed. But I need to ask you, what did you see to make you say sleeper?
Well, he doesn't whiff. The guy doesn't chase. And, and he stole 20 bags in 2022. He stole 10 in 23. He had 15 home runs. I, like you, was probably projecting somewhere around a 22 home run, 20 in a 17-ish stolen bag season out of him last year. He was hurt, disappointed, didn't do well. But foundationally, unlike Junior, I like his makeup better. I
Look
like
at
I like that he don't chase. I like
mhm.
that he don't whiff. I like that
and
he don't K. Like,
that didn't change. That's the thing. Let me just play the savant. But look at the numbers from 2023. This is the reason why: 15 home runs, 10 stolen bases, 271, 309, 453. Right. So
right,
I was like banging the table for this kid. And then
yeah,
you have you. I think the sprint speed is just. I think that's a little low. I think
I
he's
think it's
better.
low. I'd be interested to see when you play it where it pops up at because he's a good base stealer.
Right. And I think it's
There you go. See,
look
like
there it is. Look at that. 78,
78. Yeah, he's faster than
70.
that. He was just hurt last
Exactly.
year.
He was hurt.
Yeah, he
Right.
wasn't running sprint speed wise, but he's a good athlete.
Right.
And he's a great defender. His OA even last year was 90 percentile here. So I mean, he's going to play decent offensive team. I can't imagine he'll be as bad as he was last year.
No.
I just think you could see a lot more of what I thought he was going to be in 24. But I mean, that's I don't know if you want to say sleeper or bounce back player, but he's one I'm going to keep an eye on to see how far he falls in draft boards. A lot of people
look,
put way, 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 way too much weight on one season, let alone 1 month, let alone 2 months, let alone 3 months. Like, seasons get away from players pretty easily. A couple injuries, a couple slow starts, and all of a sudden you're looking at a bad year. But
and I think that the projections show that we both are valid in thinking about.
yeah, well, they got him for 13 and 12 and 16 and 15. So I mean, 257, 314, 397, 94. Like, for a backup guy or a guy that I wouldn't want him man in the corner on my own, but if I can get 13 and 15, 15 and 15 out of a guy that's not in the top 15, that's going to slide probably to the later rounds of the deal, I think he might be worth a grab. Was kind of my thought process here.
Yep. And I don't disagree. So so our sleepers were Cabrian Hayes and Connor Norby. And if you haven't seen our top 15 scrolling at the bottom, I'm gonna let it keep scrolling until we get done. But as a recap, our number 15 player was Joey Ortiz, Milwaukee Brewers. Isaac Paredes from the Cubs. Alec Bohm from wherever he ends up. He might end up back in Philly. Who knows? Max Muncy with the Dodgers. Jordan Westberg with the Baltimore Orioles. Royce Lewis with the what team is that?
The Twins.
The Twins. I know. Mark Vientos, the Mets. Junior Caminero down with the Rays. Jazz Chisholm found a home in New York. I think he loves it there. Alex Bregman, wherever he ends up. Max Chapman out in San Francisco. Machado in San Diego. Austin Riley down in Atlanta. Devers in Boston, and Jose Ramirez ends our top 15 at third baseman. And if you have any comments or you want to, chime in or whatever, hit us up on Twitter, or hit us up wherever you find us. I'm also on TikTok now, Ray Jr. the Barber over on TikTok. So I'm trying to figure out how I can take this and put it on TikTok. I think I need TikTok Studio, and I'm looking at something else too, another social media site to kind of stream to. But Eric, you got anything else for the good people?
I mean, I don't think so. I appreciate everybody that joined. I mean, it was a lot of work. We left off, if you're going to notice, we left off some, some aging players, some people, they're probably a little lower. We favor the youth. That's a little bit of both of our styles, but, you can't let it get away from you. So I'll be interested to see come March, the DC ADP, how this ranks up with what we have.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see.
No, like I think that I think that some people are going to be like, "Where's Vlad?" Well, we just explained. We're using the National Fantasy Baseball.
Yeah, you had to play 20 games in that to be position eligible. So.
And then where's Gunner? Where's Gunner?
Yeah, he don't play third.
Yeah. Okay.
One name that we did leave off that probably could take a little flack for would be Nolan. We left off Arenado, right? Like
we did not talk about Nolan Arenado.
We left him off.
There's the number. There's the one. That's the one. Nolan Arenado. Where's Nolan Arenado? Nolan Arenado. Nope. He's 80. He's not on my list.
That's one that I would avoid, along with a few others on the list. But hey, it's our first one. Second base is next, right?
Yep.
Yep.
And so we will see you guys next week to cover second base. Second base is going to be a little bit different because like I said, second base, you have a lot of players who play multiple positions that play second.
Yeah, you're going to get into that, right? So, I mean, again, not the hard, but these are the keys to winning. You got to have overlap.
Yeah.
You're not going to want necessarily third baseman only, shortstop only, second base only. You're going to want some of overlap. Them overlap guys should get a little bump on your guys' personal list.
Oh, didn't think Josh Young would be left off the list.
Yeah, that's another one. That's fair.
That's another one.
But
that's another one. Like I had him 17.
Yeah, he was close on mine too.
Yeah, I think I had him 17 on my list.
It was just tough, like with him, and again, injury prone. Yep. But I mean, he could be. I just don't know.
No, I am.
That's fair, though. I mean, asking that question is fair. I don't love him. He doesn't walk at all. 0%.
I am on the team of Josh Young. I had him the first year I had fantasy as a rookie. He was a rookie. I was a rookie. And I was very impressed with that young man.
One thing you got to remember, in the national contest, OBP is very high. And Josh Young has never seen a pitch he does not like to swing at. He walked 4.3% of the time, 3.9% of the time, 5.8% of the time. Like his on-base average is 315, 298, 296. He's a hole in the OBP category, which is what the national contest is based off. So, Caleb, even though I could see the argument putting him on, his lack of walking and lack of OBP left him off my list.
Yep, and that's kind of where I was with him too. Plus,
even though he could hit 25 home runs, don't get me wrong.
But and then what's his K rate?
27.5.
There you go.
I mean, foundationally, I don't care for him.
And it probably would have been higher had he played the whole year last year.
Well, he did 29.3 the year before.
I think that's who he is.
And he's projected to be 27.5 with a 5% K rate. His slash is 247. Throw up in my mouth, 296 OBP is his projection. And I'm not giving up that OBP in a league in a national contest league.
Yeah, and now here comes another competitor in our home league. Screw Brian Hayes. Okay, great, wonderful.
Yeah.
Jordan Westberg better than Royce Lewis. I think we
put that up there. Nah, maybe we didn't.
Well,
we
no, they're flip flop. They're flip flop.
Yeah.
But we talked about it. You wasn't here for that conversation. But yes, like we did say I would not be mad if you put Westberg 10 and Royce Lewis 11.
A lot of these guys are going to come down to. A lot of these guys are interchangeable. I think Vientos and Jr. are interchangeable, and Royce Lewis. Matter of fact, all three of them are about the same goddamn player in my mind. What do you need at third base to fill out your team? Stop drafting players and start drafting statistics. Don't care if what you think of a guy. If they put up numbers in a category, it matters. Like, if you are light power, go Royce Lewis over Jordan Westbrook. If you're light OBP and you're light, maybe it's a stolen bases, some run, Westbrook is over Lewis. Like, you can definitely split hairs here for sure. I think your team makeup matters here.
Yeah, 296 OBP is worse than 9s in high school.
I don't know. I bet 9s is worse.
and then just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, of course. Just want the best player on my team. I get it. So would I. I might do it just for competitive reasons. I might do it just to see if I can trade away a couple of superstars and still win. Entertain myself.
There it is. But you are a 2-time champion, so you could take chances like that.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a 2-time champion. We've only had the league twice. So, like, that's an important thing to also remember. So I might have to find a way to, like, entertain myself this year and, like, trade away a couple of big players and see if
I don't know, man. I think this year I'm coming for the crown. I have my eyes set on the crown this year.
I was happy you joined it because otherwise, Caleb and I, if you wouldn't have changed your ways, Caleb and I were just going to smack this league for like 15 years, and him and I could have just chopped up first and second place.
And you fucking get Mike Trout back. That's sick.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get him back for 50 games probably, but yeah. But we're ready to.
Wait, that's not what I wanted. He said your reign of terror is over. I have to. I literally have to. I got to make up for my mistake last year. I learned so much from that 1 week where I didn't beat Caleb. Like,
yeah, you had him. You benched the guy.
I had him.
Yeah,
I had him.
But it's just good. I mean, listen, we're going to be playing a different type in the national contest, and everybody will tell you, like, when you start playing the categories versus playing head-to-head, a lot more skill set it gets involved. But now people in the head-to-head are threats, man. I mean, Caleb and I were nail-biters. You said you did the math. You would have beat me in the championship round. It wouldn't surprise me. Like, there's different matchup things and different things you can do to make your team competitive against other certain teams and certain teams you don't match up well against. Like, that's kind of the theory, but I'm interested in both. Like,
and I
can't not gonna lie, I'm planning on being the 3-time champion. I plan on winning the league again outright, and I plan on winning the thing again. But I want to see how we do in the big contest, especially in draft. We're talking 50 rounds, right? We got to go 50 rounds deep. 50 times 12. I mean, we're talking 600 players deep.
Yeah, I know.
So it's only 30.
And that's why when we're doing
we got to go deep.
Our list,
like, we're going deeper than 15 for this. For our,
but I'm just saying, our lists are going to be consistent. Like, it's going to be a deep.
100%, because you can't beat. There's no free agent move. There's no deal. It's draft heavy. So I mean, we'll find out what we know.
But I mean, I just I can't wait for the draft to start for the national. I can't wait for that. That's going to be so fucking fun. And playing in that league, I learned so much from the Yahoo League.
Yeah,
and they shout out to all the guys in the Yahoo League, but y'all changing it up kind of pissed me off.
Yeah, we had a plan.
Because we had a fucking plan, and
but
it was rock solid.
I folded to the masses. But
yeah. And then in the Scumbag League, I think that this year is going to be the best league, the best year in our league, competitive wise. Like, Dre is a threat. Dan's going to be a threat.
Listen, I think Justin finally learned his.
No. He said, look. He said, I made the worst mistakes in the history of fantasy.
Yeah, I told you that when you did them, if you remember right.
He paid for his sins. He paid for his sins, and he repented. That's basically what he said. But he did.
I think Kian will learn.
Kian has learned.
I already think Ian learned. I'm guessing 9 learned his fucking lesson from missing the fucking playoffs. I mean,
and then they let Mac get in with all that bullshit, and you know, so and then I think that Nick learned too. I think Nick is going to.
He's the one I'm worried about. I mean, we're talking back-to-back last places for Nick. I think.
Yeah, well, he wasn't in last place, but he hasn't finished in the top 6 ever.
Yeah. I think he's the only one, right?
Yeah, he's the only one.
Everybody else has been in the playoffs or not.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, and I think Nick is finally going to take it serious this year and change his ways around too.
Yeah.
But his team is, but he has a chance. So if you're in the Scumbag League, I will be making an announcement tonight. We will be putting the rule votes in up for vote, and by next week, the league will be back open. You guys can start making
time,
but you won't be able to.
Time for the winter meeting.
You won't be picking up nobody though. You won't be able to pick up, but you got to clean up your rosters. Right. And there will be a lot of great. You guys, there are going to be some good players on waivers. So we'll put that out there. There's going to be some really good players on waivers after the decisions are made with IR, because some people are hoarding a lot of players on their team. They got to dump. Right. Yep. All right. So that's it for us. We'll be back next week with second base rankings. I'm gonna try to streamline this a little bit. I don't know how I'm gonna do it quite yet, but I will be trying to streamline it so we can.
We probably only need to maybe spotlight 2 or 3 of the guys, or do 2 or 3 at once instead of doing them all individually.
Instead of doing it like that. So we're gonna streamline it. I want to try to keep us around an hour 30, right? Never want to go 2 hours. But this was our first one, so now that we've done it, we're gonna just go from there. So shout out to everybody that's been here. Thank you guys for watching on X. Thank you guys for watching on YouTube. Make sure you like, make sure you retweet, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe over on YouTube. And thank you, man. That's it. Eric, any last words?
No, it was awesome. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to doing second base. Thanks to everybody that participated and joined. It makes it fun.
Yeah. And then you know, I had a great time. I enjoyed doing the research. This is a passion for me now. Fantasy baseball is a passion for me now. So I enjoy every moment that we get to talk baseball. So
I agree with you.
Thank you guys. And we're going to turn the lights off in here. Yeah.